Hello, hi. Okay, hello. This is the My Artifact episode number 3896 maybe. Okay, yeah. Today's date is uh, February 19, 2026. It's been almost like a morning at 9:21 a.m. Let's just ask a question. Okay, yeah. By the way, I wrote this question in my book. Actually, it's just saying why am I kind of like a simply like writing the question in here? Okay, yeah, is because of that. Okay, usually all my question in my mobile phone. Okay, yeah, and how do I supposed to be ask question if I'm recording video? Okay, it's not like I could minimize and things like that. It just stopped the recording, so that's why I'm writing my question in here. Okay, yeah, so which is really good, convenient, and good. Yeah. By the way, his book is really good. Alright, yeah. So should we jump into the question? Alright, let's go. Alright, so question is, am I building the trust and connection, not just chasing traffic and number? Oh. Okay, so what exactly is this question? Okay, so this is YouTube realization question. Um, why am I asking this question to myself? Um, when I ask this question to myself, I would know more about myself as a content creator. I would know more about myself as a, I would know more about kind of like a platform, social media, Instagram, YouTube platform. I do know more about my execution process, my creativity. Okay, yeah. When I ask this question, I get realization that am I credible enough to consider myself as a YouTuber or not? Because I think that it was kind of like a really essential to understand that key, am I that person or not? All right, and these are question kind of like somebody giving me that realization. Okay, so question is that key, am I building trust, connection, not just chasing traffic or number? What is really trust and connection? Okay, so basically is this thing, every YouTuber wants to build an audience, and that audience will gonna build by some sort of connection. Like let's just say I watch a lot of videos on YouTube platform. There are a couple of YouTubers that I love to watch his content. Let's just say, like let's just take a kind of like a Get Set Fly channel, Gaurav Thakur. Okay, yeah. So basically is this thing that ki, what kind of like a connection that I establish with that particular person? Obviously not like I didn't really knew him like very well. I didn't really seen him in real life, nothing really at all. Okay, yeah. But what kind of like a connection that I build up with that particular person is that ki he is a kind of like a giving me value regarding about education value, about science and things and that it matter to me. I want to learn that thing, and it kind of like a get me that value. The connection is that ki, the information that he was kind of like a telling me regarding about science, that I never really get from anywhere, not from the textbooks, nothing really at all. The way that he explained the stuff was so easy, so well, so understanding that I could understand even complex subject too. Couple of days ago, he kind of like I watched his video about double split experiment. Double split experiment is one of the really difficult experiment to understand. Okay, yeah, because sometime light can kind of like actually show as a pattern of waveform, but sometime light is actually kind of like a show as a pattern of particles. It's a very crazy. Okay, I still not haven't get it that double split experiment, but I did understand little bit what kind of like a connection that he established. He kind of like established such a connection about a value. Okay, yeah. Like I think that na ki, okay, let's just say you like a particular person. Okay, yeah. Like means like legitly like your girlfriend. Okay, yeah. So what kind of like a connection that you build up in between you? Because you like each other, you love each other, you take care of each other and things and that you providing value each other. Okay, yeah. So basically the way that you build the connection, this is how you build the connection. At the beginning, obviously, at the beginning, the way that we like each other, that is the only one connection. Okay, yeah. Do we connect every human being? I think yeah, we could. Okay, yeah. Why is that? Is because of that ki we all are human and we connect with each other very well. Why are you watching my video? Why are you watching my video? Okay, yeah. Like basically what kind of like a connection that we establish in here? Like I'm here, I'm kind of like at my rooftop, I'm kind of like a recording this stupid shit. Why are you watching these videos? Obviously I provide some sort of value to you, to 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 something. I don't know at this moment, I'm not really sure, but in the future I might gonna provide some sort of values. You want to understand that ki what kind of like a value do I kind of like a provide, or how I kind of like a do this thing. That's why you are kind of like a try to understand me. That's why you are kind of like a seeing this video, because there is no way that you could supposed to be see this video. Okay, yeah. So basically what I realized that na ki we build a connection regarding about curiosity. You wants to know about me, so that's why you are kind of like watching this video. So it's been curious. Okay, yeah. So same thing about that ki why do I watch the Gaurav Thakur video? I am being curious about that ki he kind of like explains stuff regarding about double slit experiment, or like a general relativity theory, or Newton's laws and things and that I am bitterly curious to know about that thing. So the curious is a kind of like a simply connection, that I am bitterly curious regarding about this particular topic, and this particular person kind of like a giving me that topic, giving me that information. That's why I'm kind of like a watching his video. Okay, yeah. But if another person kind of like a serve the same piece of content, will I be able to watch his content? Well, I think yeah. Why is that? Is because of that ki we might think that the information that we are getting are the similar, but execution might be different. Let me give you understanding. There are so many science channel are actually exist on a YouTube platform. Why do I watch Gaurav Thakur videos? Is because of that ki Gaurav Thakur video is connect with me. The way that he explains stuff, his creativity, the way that he execute his videos, I love it. I like it. Okay, yeah. And it's not really that he is the only one who kind of like makes such a video. There are so many people who kind of like make such a video too. Like basically science related video is that he Dhruv Rathi video, he also make a science related videos too. Okay, right now he became a lot of political video, but he's also kind of like making science videos too. Okay, yeah. So basically what I realized that na ki like even if I know the double split experiment from Gaurav Thakur video, I might gonna watch next video, or I might gonna watch the same double split experiment from Dhruv Rathi's point of perspective. Why? Does the experiment change? No. Does the theory change? No. Then why are you watching the same piece of content by different thing? Is because of that ki sometime I might not know about that particular stuff. Like basically is this thing, Gaurav Thakur kind of like explained double split experiment very well, but I still think that I might not understand. Okay, yeah. I need to see the problem from another point of perspective. Might be Dhruv Rathi kind of like simply make a video about the double split experiment that I might understand even more. That's what I'm trying to tell you is this thing. Our human brain are always wants information. Our brain is always just want information. He just always want to suck the information as much as he want. Okay, yeah. And this is what it is like sometime na, even if the kind of like a creator kind of like a creating the same piece of content that hundreds of people are kind of like a creating, still we consume that piece of content because we just wants more. We just wants to know the kind of like a same piece of problem from different angle and things like that, to understand even more better. Okay, so I don't know, have you ever kind of like some realization yourself that when you're kind of like scrolling reels and there is a kind of like a trending video, one person who kind of like a somebody like a, there are so many trending videos. Okay, the same piece of song is kind of like a played by thousands of creator, and you still scroll, you still scroll, you still scroll, you still scroll. You know exactly all the song lyrics, dance moves, everything, but you still scroll. Why? Why is that? Is because of that ki we just connect with that song, we just connect with that kind of like emotional background, we just connect with that thing, we just, yeah, we just want to see the problem from different point of perspective, so that's why we just understand that stuff. Okay, yeah. So what exactly the question is kind of like a telling me? The question is actually telling me that ki a creator should supposed to build the connection with the audience. And how do kind of like a creator should supposed to build the connection with the audience? By providing value. I mentioned multiple time, value is a very much essential. What kind of like a value that you are providing? Education value, information value, entertainment value. Okay, yeah. And that value determines that ki it determines the trust and things like that. Like Zakir Khan made a video. Possibly I'm thinking that this video is a comedy video, right? So this is what it is. A kind of like a building a trust is a kind of like a something very much essential for kind of like a somebody creator. What if I didn't build the connection? Then what? Then what? There are so many YouTube channels that actually exist. They did not build the connection. What are those channels? Like basically, it's just saying that ki, um, let's just say a kind of like a, there are so many kind of like a YouTube channel are actually exist. They kind of like a upload the movie scene. Okay, yeah, action sequence or things and that and that. Okay, yeah. So am I, if I'm kind of like a watching that particular video which is actually seen by some sort of movies, will I connect that YouTube channel? Obviously not. Why? Because in that video he was not showcasing his talent, he was kind of like a showcasing other talent, that movie's talent and things like that. So it's a kind of like a thing is that na ki I might not connect. Like I don't know how do I supposed to explain it. Just like that. Now let's just say there is a game launch, God of War Ragnarok. I play that game. I record how I supposed to play the game, and I kind of like upload that full gameplay video on YouTube platform. Will people will gonna watch my gameplay video? Well, it depends on how you play the video. If you like, how you play the game. If you are really good at playing game, if you really know how you're supposed to use the all the shortcuts and things and that and you are kind of like somebody that key the playing a game in a such a way that kind of like a god mode, then people really love it. Like people kind of like a think that ki, okay, you are a kind of like a somebody particular person who kind of like a somebody play a video game in a such a way that just I love to watch and things like that. Okay, yeah. So this is what it is. Okay, yeah. Like basically what I realized that now you can build the connection by providing the value and how unique you are. Providing value, as I already mentioned, educational, information and inspirational entertainment. Okay, yeah. These are kind of like simply the value. But also another thing is that ki unique in itself, that ki how unique is your video or how unique is your content creation. Okay, yeah. When the content is kind of like a unique in itself, it stand out in its own. And when it stand out in its own, people love to watch your videos. People kind of like a build the connection, kind of like a build the trust and things like that. But I think that na ki more I realize that ki how do I supposed to build the connection is kind of like a depend on values and things like that. But there is also another thing. You can build the connection by kind of like a something by showing your face or showing your everything. Like basically it's this thing na ki why are you watching me this video? Okay, yeah, is because of that कि I am showcasing my personality, I am showcasing myself, I'm showcasing, you are kind of like a seeing me on the video and things like that. You kind of like a sees me, this is a kind of like a 32-year-old boy kind of like a living with my parents and not earning money and things and that and that and that and that. You kind of like know all my backstories and things like that because you are previously watching all my videos. is kind of like a things that na ki it build a some sort of connection in between you and me. Okay, yeah, you are bitterly curious about me, as also is this thing that ki um, as this thing that ki like I don't know how to supposed to explain this thing, but the way that I am, you are kind of like watching my video is because of that ki you are human and I am human, and humans are actually connect with each other. Okay, yeah, that is true. Yeah, like basically it's this thing that ki if your creativity is just focus on just a content execution, like basically let's just say that ki I am a content creator who draw the painting. Okay, yeah, so in my video I am actually seeing my painting stuff, like how do I draw and things like that. I might not connect with my audience that much as compared to if I showcase my face and showcase the struggle, showcase that what I've been through and that to kind of like draw the painting and things like that. People might connect more than kind of like a somebody just a stay picture and things like that. Okay, yeah. So I think that na, if I wanted to build the connection to the people, I have to be kind of like a connect, visually connect with you. Like basically, I have to be like a or tell my all my stories, worst case possible, good thing, bad thing, things and that. Okay, yeah, so that other people can resonate. Okay, this particular person kind of like has been through the same possible problem that I've been through too. So like that resonation is a kind of like a very much matter. That's why you are kind of like a seeing my video. Okay, so that is what it is. That's what it is. That's why we build the connection. Okay, yeah. Now another thing is that that connection did not build very easily or very quickly. Okay, yeah. Why? Is because of that ki you are kind of like a seeing me on YouTube channel. Okay, yeah, and there are millions of kind of like a YouTube video and you chose this video. Why? Why? That is a kind of like a things. Okay, yeah, like there are 8 billion people are actually exist on this planet. Why we are not connecting with all of them? Because of there are so many that our mind cannot able to be comprehend that number and things like that. Okay, yeah, so this is what it is. Okay, yeah, we connect with another human. Okay, yeah, but what I realized that na ki is this thing that ki like basically there are a lot of people like basically is this thing, if I am the only one who uploaded the video on YouTube platform, then probably YouTube will kind of like recommend only my video because my videos is only exist on YouTube channel, right? So like basically if I'm the alone, then probably you don't really have any choice to watch any other kind of like a video. You just have to watch my video, but there is a lot of choices and things and that. Okay, yeah, millions and billions and things like that. Okay, yeah, so that kind of like a something that choices became kind of like a something like a delusion and things and that it might not like a basically is this thing that key right now if I'm uploading this video, probably within a 2-3 year or maybe kind of like a couple of years this video no one will gonna watch, like it just legitly stay on the YouTube somewhere on the data center and just no one will gonna watch. Okay, yeah, but soon as I kind of like a somebody did something something, okay, yeah, then people will gonna understand, people will kind of like a somebody that kid try to know me, try to connect with me, they will kind of like a watch this video and things like that. What I realized that ki why does kind of like a somebody it takes time. There is no kind of like a proper explanation regarding about why does it takes time, but it takes time. Every build, every connection between every human takes time. It's just not gonna happen just as much as easily. Okay, so yeah, so regarding about the question says that ki, am I building that connection for trust or just chasing the number? Am I chasing the number? One thing I'm pretty sure that I'm not chasing the number. Okay, yeah, I am doing this kind of like a YouTube for last 5 years. Okay, yeah, and basically I did a lot of mistake. I make a lot of mistake too. I changed my genre multiple times. But I am not chasing the number. I am kind of like somebody just basically focus on things that I could control, like the content creation, the execution, and things and that. Okay, so basically the one thing I'm pretty much sure that I'm not chase the number, but I still consider myself that when I see lower number of views and things like that, yes, it might gonna hurt. That is true. But still, I'm kind of like pretty sure that I'm not chasing the number. So am I building the trust and connection? Yeah, I am. Like, okay, let me give you context. Okay, what kind of like assembly the content that I'm creating? I make a content regarding about a kind of like assembly the graphic designing, poster designing. I kind of like create a poster regarding about that people should supposed to be resonate. Like yesterday, I created a design regarding about a kind of like a crocodile is kind of like assembly walking on the ladder, and his mouth is actually stuck in the ladder. My message from the image is that your mouth might be a problem, because most of the people kind of like didn't really progress that much because they have bigger mouth. Bigger mouth means what? They kind of like talk a lot and things like that. So it just resonate. Okay, yeah, my content is kind of like somebody delivered the message from my poster with as much as minimalistic as it possible. So this is kind of like a creativity that I do. Okay, yeah. Does it build the connection? Yeah, people will kind of like get the value. Okay, kind of like feel like creativity and things like that. So yeah, people are actually getting the value. Okay, yeah. Do I build the trust? Trust is a kind of like a things like a probably is this thing na ki like a okay, trust is a kind of like a thing that na ki it comes like do I building the trust? Okay, do I building the trust? I think yes. Okay, yeah, it's a very hard to describe the trust. Okay, let me give you context. Okay, yeah. So if I watch any kind of like a video, let's just say Dhruv Rathi video. So am I trusting that the information that he was kind of like telling me is right? Yeah, I am completely agree that information he was kind of like telling is completely right, with a kind of like a entirely true. Okay, that is right. Okay, yeah. So am I building that same piece of connection? Trust. I think yeah. I don't know how do I supposed to explain this thing, because in Dhruv Rathi videos, it's a long form video. In the long form video, people are kind of like engaged to watch your video for longer period of time. Okay, yeah. So obviously it build connection, trust, and things like that, which is true, which is definitely true. Okay, yeah. But what I realized that na ki like basically the amount of time will gonna shorten. Like if you spend little less time with your audience, that connection will get little less, as well as the trust will also become less too. I don't know how to supposed to explain. Okay, yeah. Let's just say 100%. Okay, yeah. Let's just say that ki you have to build the connection with your audience. Okay, yeah. That connection is actually built up by the duration of your video. Okay, bigger the duration of the video, people will connect the bigger. Let's just say that duration of the video 100%, the connection will might gonna get 70%, and trust will gonna get it 30%. Yeah, that is the kind of like somebody is thing like a when like this is the kind of like a thing. So, okay, let's just say whatever the duration it is, like let's just say that you make a video that time duration was 30 minutes. Okay, yeah. So 30 minutes. So in the 30 minutes, the people might gonna connect. How much people might gonna connect? Let's just say 70%. Okay, yeah. And how much people will gonna trust? 30 to 40%. Okay, yeah. Our trust is actually came from such an audience. They are kind of like seeing your video in binge, or they already sees your video and things like that. Okay, so the trust actually came from the loyal audience. Okay, and that loyal audience is always be very less, and they will trust you. They will gonna trust you. They will gonna trust you that you will kind of like upload your video every week. They will trust you that information that you are kind of like telling is a kind of like a right and things and that. Those are loyal audience. Okay, trust actually come from them. The connection is actually kind of like overall the people, like the some people are not trusting, some people are kind of like just watching your video for they just see that video on their timeline, or maybe just they want the information and things like that. Those are kind of like a connection, and the duration is 100% and things like that. Shorter the duration, shorter the connection, shorter the trust. Okay, yeah. Like I make a short form content. vertical video content, reel content, which is actually a very short piece of content. Okay, yeah. So obviously connection have little less, trust have also little less too. Okay, yeah. But is that problem? Yeah, is that problem too? But there is also advantage too, that ki I can make my video every day. Okay, yeah. Like basically my video is not long, but my video is so much in higher number. Like I am actually uploading my video every single day. So basically this thing that ki the in the content I have more, like within a 2 year I kind of like uploaded almost like a 800 reels on my Instagram and YouTube platform. Okay, yeah. So basically audience will have 800 piece of content of me. Even they have kind of like a little less connection, that little connection will become bigger, and bigger the connection, bigger the trust. Okay, yeah. So this is what it is. So regarding about the question, am I chasing the number or traffic? Well, one thing for sure, I am not. Okay, yeah. Am I chasing the connection or trust? I think I might have a little bit of connection, or I'm kind of like building the connection or trust with my audience, but still it takes time, and I'm not really sure about that. But I'm trying putting my effort to kind of like providing value as much as I can, and yeah. All right. So this is it. This is it. You're supposed to be end here. Thank you.